Guard is a reserve component of the United States Air Force and serves alongside active-duty Air Force members in times of a national crisis. In addition, the Air Guard serves the state and local community in a wide range of capacities. The reason people join the Air Guard is as diverse as our members and includes such reasons as a deep desire to serve their country, money for college, travel, new job skills, and the pride that goes along with belonging to the greatest military organization in the world. I joined because I felt a calling to serve my country, but I didn't want to be far away from my family, so the Indiana Air National Guard was a perfect fit for me. With over 95 different career opportunities to choose from and 100% paid college tuition to any state-funded college, why not give us a call? Call 1-800-841-3103 or visit online at goang.com to find out more. Again, that's 1-800-841-3103. The Air National Guard, guarding America, defending freedom.
It's double trouble, double the fun at African Safari Wildlife Park in Port Clinton, Ohio. See the largest antelope on Earth, the giant eland, and the ugliest creature on Earth, the African warthog. There's so much to see and do, including the Midwest's only drive-through safari. Feed the animals, see live educational shows, feel the excitement. Have your picture taken with a python or cockatoo. Feel the adventure. Shop the Symbol Lodge gift shop with items available from around the globe. Visit the snack bar or picnic facilities. Enjoy a pony or camel ride. Or cheer your favorite porker on to victory in the famous Pork Chop Down. Bring your family to see the rare and exotic animals at African Safari Wildlife Park in Port Clinton, Ohio. Just take Route 2 to the Route 53 North exit and follow the sign. Only 17 miles west of Cedar Point via Route 6. Open every day, rain or shine.
When you don't go to Geico.com, car insurance can be confusing. Like Swedish techno confusing.
Bark, bark, meow, meow. Dance with me, purple cow. Bark, bark, meow, meow. Ooh, you lovely cow.
Geico makes it easy. With 24/7 access, all you have to do is go to Geico.com and you could save money on car insurance. It just makes sense. Unlike, you know.
Dance with me, purple cow. I like your moves.
When you don't go to Geico.com, car insurance can be hard. Like early 90s heavy metal hard.
I'm yelling and screaming and I'm loud. Roar.
Geico makes it easy. You can review and update your policy or report a claim on Geico.com or the Geico mobile app. Because shouldn't we all have a little less stress in our lives?
I'm not even upset about anything.
All right, welcome back to The Balance. We're coming out of the final stretch of today's show. Thank you, Matthew Embry, our official IndyCar contributor, joined us to talk about IndyCar rolling into Mid-Ohio. Also, Ed Kratz, beat writer for the Philadelphia Eagles, our official NFL contributor, called us from the practice field of Philadelphia, NovaCare Field. Talked with us about the Philadelphia Eagles and just talk around the NFL as far as camps breaking. And Rick Riggin just made a surprise call to talk about Theo Reddick, but that's okay. He'll be on in a couple weeks to talk some college football. Also, Tony Donahu from the Tony D podcast joined us to talk some NASCAR. We always save the best for last. Mo from the BS Sports Show joins us now to continue our NFL kickoff season. Always like to say it's back. And welcome back, Mo. How are you, Mo?
Good. It sounds like your dogs are pissed, though.
Oh, can you hear them? I tell you what, that's having the beagle. I don't know how to, outside of duct tape in her mouth, she's wanting to see whatever's outside, and so we just kind of got to bear with it. Where Ed called us from.
The same way.
Oh, I tell you what, she's a good dog, but the beagle, and I know you follow me on social media, so you've seen the adventures of the beagle. You've got kids. You have to toddler-proof your house. Well, you have to puppy-proof your house. I tell you what, if it can be found, if it can be chewed up, she'll find it.
It's like having a new baby.
Oh, you're not kidding. And so last week she was kept hacking and hacking and hacking. She finally hacked up. So I just got some artificial flowers around the house, whatever. Yeah, I'm that guy. But I didn't even know she'd ate it, but she'd ate some of those artificial flowers and just puked it all up. So I digress. Let's get into some NFL talk. Obviously, Mo, we'll start with your home group, and that is we'll start with the Cleveland Browns. We'll go over to the Chicago Bears. I know you covered both of those. Cleveland Browns, everybody thinks this is the big year. Lots of things looking forward to the Browns with Baker Mayfield and company. I think every Browns fan says we don't need to even have a season. Just go ahead and deliver the Vince Lombardi trophy and take the rest of the year off. We got this, folks. Not so fast, guys, but certainly a lot of excitement with the Cleveland Browns.
Well, I was talking to someone yesterday, and it seems almost like what the NBA has become, to where it feels like a lot of the best players now have moved over to the AFC, and the NFC maybe is a little lighter on some of the great players, because you look at a team like the Cleveland Browns, who picked up Odell Beckham Jr., who picked up Olivier Vernon from the Giants, and you add their pick Greedy Williams to that defense, and it looks like a team that is just going to dominate. But just like the Colts, and their division is going to be very tough this year. You look at this Cleveland Browns team, and they're still in a very tough division. The Steelers still going to be good, even with some losses they've had. The Ravens still going to be pretty darn good, even with some of the losses they had, and the Bengals as well. So it's a tough division for the Browns. I mean, there's a lot of expectations, and this is also a team with a first-year head coach who's never dealt with this, second-year quarterback who's never dealt with these expectations. So a lot of expectations being on the Browns, something they haven't dealt with in 20-plus years.
Well, it's good for the Browns. I mean, every team deserves to have that time in the spotlight. The Cubs, as much as I hate it, they seem to have found their niche when they got to their new president Epstein over from the Red Sox, and it seemed to bring a lot of magic over, and so they finally got their stuff figured out, and here they are leading the National League Central again. So it's good to see teams that get their act together. I hope that it stays that way with the Cleveland Browns, but we will see. Let's talk about the other team that I know you do a lot of time covering, and that's the Chicago Bears. Talk with us about camp with the Chicago Bears. Shaheen is ready to be a big part of that offense. It's certainly a fan favorite there at camp.
Well, I mean, what you look for this year, the biggest thing with a young quarterback like they will with Baker, in another year, a third year for Mitchell Trubisky, is can he continue to improve? And that's going to be the big thing for the Chicago Bears, because they've got a lot of studs on defense, led by Khalil Mack, who looks even more hungry than he was last year after being traded. And now you're going to have a full-fledged season of Khalil Mack knowing the playbook, a guy who is just a beast when it comes to that. But, last year he's traded right before the season starts, so he was a little shaky from the get-go, a little winded in those first few games. But now he's a guy who's going to be on the field leading the defense and ready to go. They did have the loss of Vic Fangio, who's now the head coach of the Denver Broncos. But, again, I think the biggest thing for them is to keep that receiving core healthy, which is something the Bears have struggled to do over the last 5 or 6 years. But for the continued growth of Mitchell Trubisky, you don't want to see him regress and take a step backwards, because that will be detrimental to what the Bears are trying to do. So I think the season depends a lot on what Mitchell Trubisky becomes. Will he become that continuous, maybe Pro Bowl quarterback this year? And obviously they've moved on from their kicker Cody Parkey, who they're paying a lot of money not to play for them this year. So there's a lot of excitement around the Bears. You look at this division, and I think it's pretty wide open. So it should be hopefully another division title for the Chicago Bears.
Well, let's kind of walk around the NFL, if you will. We'll start here in the AFC South. That's obviously our home team area here, the Indianapolis Colts. And we talked a little bit earlier with Ed, Nick Foles, and the Jacksonville Jaguars, Marcus Mariota there in Tennessee. And, of course, you've got the Texans. The AFC South as a whole, I think, is getting stronger year by year. I think the Colts, Frank Reich, and Ballard has the right pieces in place to make it happen. Certainly kind of impressed with what I've seen out of camp with the Colts. Luck not taking a lot of snaps right now. Of course, Ed says that's nothing to worry about at the moment. But the AFC South, looking forward into 2019, their camps. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's probably the second toughest, or maybe even still the toughest division in the league. The Colts, a lot of expectations for the Colts after what happened last year, after they started 1-5, made the playoffs into the second round. They're a good team. Jacksonville improves with Nick Foles. The Texans kept most of their big free agents in Tyrann Mathieu, Jadeveon Clowney. So they're a team that was already good last year. And then you look at the Titans. I mean, I think for the Titans this year, they're a team that continues to try to build around Marcus Mariota, but he's a guy that his progress has been very slow. He's taken little steps here and there, then he'll take a step backwards, then he'll be injured. But backing him up this year is Ryan Tannehill, the former Dolphins starter. So I would think that, at some point there could be a quarterback switch. Mariota's obviously the starter going into the season, but I think the Titans are looking for giant leaps forward from him this year. And if not, you could see Mariota through the second part of the season, as the backup. So every team, I think, in that division has gotten better. It's just for the Titans, particularly, will they see the steps at quarterback to move forward with Mariota that they need to see?
Well, every year we talk about the AFC East and the New England Patriots. Obviously, that's always a big story. Jets, and you got the Dolphins, and you got the Bills. And it's really, when you look at those other teams, it's no wonder that the New England Patriots are always the top dog in the AFC East. Are we going to play that same tune again this year, you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think so, because I think the Jets have gotten better. Again, this is another one. It sounds like a broken record, but you look for Sam Darnold to shake up some of those mistakes from year one. The addition of Le'Veon Bell will help that offense tremendously and take pressure off of Sam Darnold. The defense wasn't terrible last year, but, Adam Gase, to me, is a humongous douche who had a power struggle with his GM, got him ousted. So, he was very unsuccessful in Miami. So, hey, the Jets thought, why not? Let's make him our head coach. He didn't do well down there. Why not bring him here? So, head coaching wise, I don't know that was the smartest decision, but you feel like the Jets have gotten a little better. Buffalo probably going to be average like they were last year, and the Dolphins will probably be competing for Tua Tagovailoa.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about the AFC North and when the Browns and the Steelers are a few minutes ago. But what are your thoughts about the Ravens and the Ravens and the Bengals? Any storylines we're following there?
Well, the Ravens did lose C.J. Mosley. They lost a couple of guys off that defense, but also made some good replacements. I do like some of the free agent signings that they had. They moved on from Joe Flacco, which was probably smart at that point. They freed up a lot of cap space with moving on from him. So it'll just be interesting to see. Tavares Jackson. Can they move forward? Can that running style work for the Bengals? Because obviously they're all in now. And then you look at the Bengals. It seems like the same old song and dance, but for the first year they've got a new voice. In Cincinnati, will this be a step forward? Will Andy Dalton continue to be the starting quarterback? I think that you could see this be the last year of Andy Dalton as the starting quarterback of the Cincinnati Bengals. New coach, a lot of times want to have his own guy in there. He's a guy who couldn't stay healthy last year. So and their Bengals team is a team that started off 4-1 last year. So they've got the players there to do it. They've got guys on defense. It's just always keeping Andy Dalton and A.J. Green healthy, and they've struggled to do that over the past 4 or 5 years.
Well, let's look at the AFC West. We got the Broncos and, of course, a very strong Kansas City Chiefs team, and they're looking to repeat exactly what they did last year. The Chargers and the Raiders, obviously the Raiders showboat team. We've talked them to death. Antonio Brown shows up in some sort of hot air balloon. I don't know what's going on with the Raiders. They are our comic relief, if we will. The Raiders now in 2019 are reminding me back in the days with John Madden and the Raiders, and